Okay, finally, I had trouble getting in here for some reason. I had to restart this thing, and it didn't want to let me in the first time. It just kept telling me we were ready to go live, and it wouldn't let me actually show up. Do we have anybody yet? Not yet. There was a couple people waiting, and I think it took me too long. I'm 3 minutes late. JW496 says, how's it going, Joey? His 2016 Scat Pack showed up yesterday. They bought it in Montana and shipped it to Maine. Cool. Just did a cold start. I'll have to check that out. I need to bring some notes in here so I can write all this stuff down, but I'll rewatch it. How's it going, Jean Paul? Hello from Canada. What's you guys' weather like up there? Tony Richardson. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. What's up? Got a few people coming in now. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Had trouble getting in for some reason. It just kept spinning and spinning, telling me it was getting ready to go live, but it wouldn't come in. I finally just redid it, and it let me in after that. But I've been having a lot of trouble lately. Very cold, lots of snow. We had actually a little bit of nice weather down here finally, but we got some extreme cold coming in the next week or so. Lots of snow. Ugh. Someday I'm going to move somewhere where it doesn't snow. What's up, JW496? Congratulations on the Scat Pack, man. A Dunn, that must be Adam. Yeah, what's up, A Dunn 413? Was it how long did you have to wait to have that thing shipped, JW496? Yeah, that's right, Aaron Dunn. It's like Adam Dunn, Aaron Dunn. I remember you have some photos in some of my videos. 2 months? Wow, that's a long wait. We waited 2 months to get our car after we ordered it. That was a long wait. 2 months flies by now, but when you're waiting for something, it seems like, oh, every day seems like a week. All right, we got a few people coming in. Very cool, very cool. Destroyer Gray 392 in Florida. Yeah. Love that color. I think everybody loves that color. Yeah, the TA. I love that too. That's really cool. What's your temperature down there in Florida right now? I think it's fairly cold down there, isn't it? For Florida? I saw something today about that. Just drinking my Diet Dr. Pepper. 45 in rain. I guess that's pretty cool for Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I like the Octane Red. I like the Destroyer Gray and Black. Like I said before, they all look good. All the colors look good. Dodge has a nice palette of colors for their vehicles. They always seem to have some cool stuff, a little bit of crazy stuff, a little bit of normal stuff, something for everybody, So GM seems to, I don't know. I haven't looked lately, but even on the Vets and Camaros, they don't have a lot of really super interesting colors sometimes. Seems like Mopar FCA's takes a few more chances when it comes to styling and colors and stuff sometimes. So JW496 has a question about launch control. When using launch control, does it automatically set the 0 to 60 timer? I can't remember now. I've only messed around with the launch control a few times, but it's been a while. I don't know. Does anybody else know the answer to that question JW just asked, guys? Aaron Dunn says he's actually considering selling his. We're waiting a few months and getting a Hellcat. Yeah. I would like to get a Hellcat. I'm going to get a Hellcat. Talking about that today. Figure it out. We will figure it out. I will figure it out. Jean Paul, minus 15 and snowing. Oh, that's minus 15 Celsius. No. Yeah. Damn. Colder than hell, either way. Best bang for the buck, the Redeye, or settle for a new Hellcat? Man, I don't know. I think best bang for the buck, probably just the regular Hellcat. I mean, the Redeye is badass, but it's a hell of a lot more money. So I don't know. When you're just thinking about by the dollar, power per dollar, the regular Hellcat's a pretty damn good deal. Sean Egan, 2 degrees and snow in Minnesota. We had a pretty good day. We were like 43 or 44 today. It's probably in the 20s out there right now. Maybe 30. I don't know. But we got more cold on the way. I saw one of those, what do they call it? Arctic vortex or whatever is going to be covering this part of the country, where it just sort of sits there and spins around this cold air thing. It's going to stay for a while. So that's going to not be fun. Well, yeah, Aaron Dunn, the Redeye will be probably more valuable in the future, but you're going to pay a lot more for it too. So, it just depends on what your plans are, I guess. Sean said they had their first snowstorm of the year. Well, we've had several. Almost no snow at all. I was driving with the Challenger with perfectly clean roads just a few days ago. Yeah. We got most of our roads are clear of snow and stuff now, but there's, of course, all the leftover sand and crap from everything from the storms. And all the grass is still covered in snow. Yeah, dealers marking them up. I was what my video. I talked about that earlier. I thought we might talk about that tonight with the dealer markups on the Redeye. Although I've seen several people looking at them and buying them that were getting them, for MSRP. So not all the dealers are doing it, but as we know with the Demon, a bunch of dealers did that, but not all. We also saw people buying them for MSRP too. So and the same thing, when the Hellcat first came out in 2015, they went crazy and people were marking them way up. I kind of feel bad for people who bought them back then and paid all that money because they're, yeah, up to 97. Somebody posted a picture of an ad from one of the car sites, I forget, and it was for, I guess it was for a Demon, I don't know, but they were asking like 200 and I think it was almost $300,000 asking price, which is just insane. I don't know why they would think that would, maybe they're just being crazy and did it for fun or did it just to say, what the hell, maybe somebody will do it. But it was crazy. It was circulating around the Challenger and Charger little sites on Facebook this week, but I couldn't find the damn picture again. I was looking, I wanted to put it in my video, but I could not find it. So John Paul just got some new Race Star drag wheels with new Mickey Thompson's on them. Can't wait to get track. I bet you can't wait to get to the track. But with that weather, it's going to be a little while probably, huh? JW496 says, thanks. He's new to the Challenger scene. Well, welcome to the Challenger scene. And everybody here is pretty cool. And most of the channels and most of the other places, if you go around join some of the Challenger things online, whether it be on Facebook or just some of the forums online and stuff, everybody's pretty cool. There's always a few jerks who want to get mad at people for asking a question that's already been asked. But somebody comes new they come in there new and they've never been there before, and they ask a question and a bunch of people jump on them. Everybody asks that question. It's been answered a million times. Well, leave them alone. They're asking a question, answer it, be polite, or don't answer it. There's no reason to jump on somebody like that. But yeah, if you Aaron Dunn says, wish you would have ordered a Demon and sold it for a small profit. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that. Join Challenger Demons. John Paul says, not till April till he gets it out on the track. You're near Toronto. Okay. Sean Egan, thank you. And thank you for the $5, Sean Egan. I really, really appreciate that. Awesome. It says, Joey, did I miss your thoughts on the GT500? No, we haven't talked about that. I was going to talk about like what do you guys think it's going to, I was reading today that it's supposed to be about $70,000 or $80,000 car. And which seems like a reasonable price for a car like that if it doesn't end up being higher than that. But what do you guys think that some of the dealers, like we were just talking about, not all the dealers are going to do it, but some will sell it at MSRP. But what do you think the markups on that are going to be? I bet you there's going to be, we'll probably see some crazy ones. So, because there's guys out there that just got to have one. And when they do those crazy markups, like I said in the video earlier, I don't think that they probably get that much money for them, but they probably get a lot more than MSRP, you know, when they do that. So. John Paul says, what is your best 0 to 60? What's everybody's best 0 to 60? Mine is 4.5, and I only pulled that off one time. The rest of them are more like 4.9, 5.1, 5 flat. One time everything happened right, and I got a 4.5. It happened one time and didn't happen the first 20 times, and it hasn't happened the 20 times I've tried it since. So it was a long time ago, and it happened one time. Everything just happened right for me. But I got the 6-speed and the 245s in the back, so 4.5 is pretty. It was pretty amazing. I was shocked. Sean again says, as a 6-speed guy, I have mixed feelings. I like to see manual transmission offered. Yeah, the Hellcat has both, and the Redeye only has the automatic, so that's also something to consider. I mean, the automatic's faster, of course, and but you know, for most of us, maybe not most of us, for a lot of people, you know, a tenth of a second here and there isn't that big of a deal to us. We're not out racing all the time. We're driving our car on the street, having fun, enjoying the car, enjoying the way it sounds, enjoying doing some pulls out on the highway, having fun with the car, maybe messing around with somebody else out on the highway or whatever. We're not super concerned about, you know, that tenth of a second or a couple tenths of a second or something that it might be different in the quarter mile. But now some people are. If you're a guy that's going to go to the track and all that stuff all the time, then that's a whole different story. But thanks again, Sean Egan. I really appreciate that, man. Running Rubber Garage, sorry you're a little late. Well, you didn't miss much. We just started getting rolling here. So I was a little late getting in. I was about 3 minutes late because it wouldn't let me in. It kept saying I was getting ready to stream, and it kept telling me it was working, and it wouldn't start. I had to start over and do it again because then it brought me straight in. But for some reason, the first time I was sitting there going, "Oh, great!" Because the other night I had microphone issues, and then I was like, "No, not another issue. I'm going to quit doing these things. People are going to get tired of this." JW496. Anybody know how launch control works? Yeah. I'm certainly not the launch control expert. I've only messed around with it a little bit, and I can't remember how you do that with the 0 to 60 and everything too. I think it should be two totally separate things. You could do the 0 to 60 thing on the screen right in front of you with the steering wheel, and then the launch control. I can't remember though. I can't remember how it even works, to tell you the truth. I've just messed around with it just a little bit, so I bet you there's somebody in here or somebody on the channel or somewhere that can help you figure that out, though. Sean wants to know, does anybody... Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong guy. Aaron Dunn wants to know, does anybody here have 295s on their Challenger? Sean Egan has a 3.8 0 to 60 with sticky tires at the track. 1.7 60 foot and a 12 3/4 mile. That is badass. You got the 305s on there. 10.5 inch Hellcat wheels for daily driving. Cool. Sean's got the shaker, Scat Pack shaker, 6-speed. Yep, Octane Red. Hi, Octane Hemi. What's going on, man? Thanks for being here again. I appreciate it. It's good to see. We got quite a few people in here. Good to see you guys. Appreciate it. So everybody's staying warm tonight. Looks like most of the country is fairly chilly. We're a little bit nicer here than we have been, but still not great. Actually went out today with the car and drove around, and I got it clean yesterday. It's filthy again today, but I got all the, not totally clean, but I got most of the junk off of it yesterday, and then drove it around yesterday and today, and now it's pretty damn dirty again. But at least I got to enjoy the car a little bit. Got to go out and make a video in it, which annoyed me because the damn camera is making so much damn noise now. I don't think I'm going to be able to use it anymore. I'm going to have to get a new camera like ASAP. I was just about to order one a couple days ago, and I wish I'd done it. I didn't. It could be on its way. Now I'm going to have to do it, and it's going to take a couple days. But yeah, it's 50 down there today. It's about 43 or something up here. So 42, 43, I can't remember. I have my main camera that I showed you guys the other day, which is the Sony RX10. The little action camera thing that I use for like when I'm driving and stuff, where I'm talking to you guys in the car when I'm driving, is actually a motorcycle helmet camera. It's a Sena Prism tube, and I have it rigged up to attach to a GoPro case, and it's kind of a little thing that I just made it myself, but it works. And it's real simple. It's a real simple device, and it does a pretty good job, but it's getting old, and it's starting to make this rattling sound now, and it's whenever time I hit a bump in the car, it makes a loud rattling sound. It's getting louder and louder, and in today's video, it was so loud that I'm like, man, I just can't. I'm going to have to get something else because that is not going to work. So I can't put out videos with all that clicking and rattling sound. It's really annoying. So I may get another one of those because it served me really well, and I really like it. I'm kind of used to using it, so rather than get something else. But I don't know. I'm not really sure. I may get a GoPro. I may get something, a GoPro clone or something. I guess sit down tomorrow and figure out exactly what I'm going to do and order something, because that's I don't think I'll be able to do another in-car video until I do that, unless I sit still in the car, because every bump is really annoying with that camera that I have. So Sean delivers propane. You had a huge weekend, yeah. Yeah, keep me updated on your car, man. Deliver propane like Hank Hill. Propane and propane accessories. We sell a lot of propane exchanges or whatever at the store I work at. It's a very popular thing. I'm constantly out there switching people's propane tanks out with them. Anybody running a purge kit on their cars just for fun and show? Asks Aaron Dunn. Anybody? Not me. Getting some good comments and questions in here tonight. Pretty awesome. We got 12 people now. I got to go back to work tomorrow. I have the weekends off, so I got to go back. I do Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. So I'll be back there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Not looking forward to it, but I don't dislike my job, so I shouldn't. Mimics a lightsaber at night. Cool. Sometimes I dread going into work. I'm not really sure why, because I'm actually okay. Once I'm there, I don't mind it so much. It's more thinking about it and getting ready to get there than it is actually being there. If we have cold weather coming, we'll be extremely busy. Anytime there's any snow or cold coming, everybody kind of goes crazy in town and they want to stock up on groceries. So we'll be super busy. They come in, they get about 400 cans of beans and stuff to make chili and chicken soup and everything else they can think of for cold weather food, and they stock up. And I wonder, because they just did it last week, and then another storm comes and they do it again and again. They have so much. I wonder, do they really need this, or don't they already have this at home in their cupboard? Because they bought 14 cans 2 weeks ago. Aaron Dunn retired from the Coast Guard in 2016 after 25 years. Cool, man. 25 years in the Coast Guard, pretty cool. That's pretty impressive. Thanks for serving the country. Appreciate that. Sean asked, I'm still selling the bike. I think so. I was talking about that with Kim today. Talking about selling the bike, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it. So Jean Paul says, work, what is that? He's retired. Yeah, you're retired. Lucky. I don't think I ever want to retire, though. I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't think I ever can. I don't think I'll be able to. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Aaron Dunn's just doing school now, thanks. Yeah, that's good to go to school. It's always good to keep learning no matter what, man. Keep learning stuff new. And any issues fitting 275s on the stock scat wheel? It shouldn't be a problem. 275s should be fine on that stock wheel. From everything I heard, it's fine. It's about as big as you should go, but it's fine to do. So Aaron Dunn says, sell his bike too to get that Hellcat. Yeah, that's kind of what I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll sell the bike and either do a bunch of stuff to the car that I have now, or maybe get into another car. Not really sure. We'll have to see about that. And I'm not like dying to get rid of the bike, so I'm going to price it probably a little bit higher than what I think I can get for it, and just kind of wait and see. I'm not gonna sell it cheap because like I said, I'm not like really desperate to sell it or don't really need to sell it, but. So I'll wait till I get a good price on it. That may take a while. So, yeah, like Sean says, 275s shouldn't be a problem, and they should have done 275s anyway. They really should have. It wouldn't be quite as crazy as those 245s are just nuts on there. Aaron says that you can get 295s on there, but don't go any bigger. I think it kind of depends who you talk to. Some people say no bigger than 275. Some people say 295. I've seen there was a video, or maybe it wasn't a video. I think it was a picture on one of the Challenger groups on Facebook, and some guy had put, I think, 305s on the stock Scat Pack wheel, and everybody was giving him hell for it. So the JW496 says that he got his Scat Pack yesterday. The previous owner didn't leave him with much tread on the tires. Yeah, that's probably pretty common. Get a used one with probably some tires that aren't the best, because they're pretty easy to wear out. Aaron Dunn says he's got the same thing with his bike pricing. Going to make sure you get what it's worth. Yeah, I mean, if I were desperate for the money or something, that would be a different story. But it's just like, I'm not 100% into selling it, but I probably will. So I'm going to price it a little bit more than it should be, and then just wait and see if someone makes me a good enough offer, lower than that, but still good. I will probably take it and run. Aaron's 2017 TA 392 came stock with 275s. JW 496. Any opinions on specific tires? There's a lot of people that like a lot of different tires. There's a lot of people in here, I think, that like the Nittos, however you say that name. I've heard a lot of good things about the Continental Extreme contacts, but they're pretty pricey. What if Firestone Indy 500s? I heard good things about those. Aaron Dunn says, hopefully you get your Hellcat, Joey. I will get it. It's just going to be one of those things where everything's got to kind of work out right, and the timing's got to be right. And Kim wants to get I don't even want to talk about this. She's really wanting to get a new Prius. She has a 2010 Prius, and she's wanting a new one. So we will probably do that, which is going to delay things as far as Hellcats go, but we will see. We'll see. Things tend to fall into place, so we'll see. I never thought I'd say the words that I was going to be involved in the purchase of a Toyota Prius, but I think I might be. Yeah, and I mean, she came along for the whole Challenger thing and the Scat Pack thing and all that, so I can't turn around and complain now. So, I got to, it's a two-way street. So we'll do it. What's the other tires? People, Turos, I think, is another tire a lot of people are using. I think they're fairly reasonably priced. I see a lot of stuff about Turo tires too. So I don't remember the exact ones, what the exact name of them is, or what the exact tire, but. I drive that. As a matter of fact, I'll be driving that Prius tomorrow. It's really not that bad. It was weird when I first met her. I thought, oh my God, she drives a Prius. I don't think this isn't going to work. But it's not a bad little car. I can't complain. And if you have to go somewhere, I mean, you hardly ever have to put gas in those things. And it's been a good car since I've known her. There's been zero problems. So. Yeah, I need. Aaron Dunn hasn't checked into new tires. Not even close to that yet. I need to start looking at tires. My rears are pretty bad. I could probably rotate them and put the other ones back there, but they're pretty pathetic tires anyway. So I'm thinking I'll just get some different tires. I'm not sure if I just want to do tires or if I want to do rims and tires, maybe some Demon or Hellcat reproductions and wider and bigger tires. We will see. Kind of depends. I'm not sure. I haven't really made any, other than thinking about it, I haven't done anything as far as shopping or talking to anybody yet. Yeah, JW496, you'll find that if you come into different channels and in different places, you'll get a lot of help with advice and things that, if you have questions about tires or anything about these cars. 95% of the people are really cool and willing to help you and are actually eager to help you. So, and tell you their experience. And, that's what's cool about all this stuff. High Octane Hemi just did an install. The FEGT Momentum cold air intake. Getting ready to upload it to YouTube. Cool. Yeah, get them videos up. Keep them coming. Yeah, Aaron Dunn says, save the stash for the Hellcat. He's been hesitating to buy new things lately due to the desire of a Hellcat. Yeah, me too, kind of, but there's a lot of things I want to get. And it's like, well, that's going to cut into that. So. Yeah, high octane Hemi. Do you get a big horsepower gain with the cold air intake? Do you got to get a tune and everything, or? Yeah, Aaron, I was thinking about that whole buying stuff too. Like, do I want to do stuff to the car that I have, or do I want to work towards a Hellcat? I don't know. Because if I do things to the car and then I sell it or trade it in, I'm not going to get that money back. I mean, all the crap you do to your car is just for yourself because you're not going to get that back. So if you trade it in, you're basically giving that stuff away. And if you sell it, you're basically giving that stuff away because nobody's going to pay you extra money for the stuff you did to your car. So unless you take it back off or something and put the stock stuff back on, but same with motorcycles. People buy a motorcycle and they do all this stuff to it, and then they think it's worth a bunch more money, but it's still just worth what it's worth. Whatever that model and mileage and condition is what it's worth. All that stuff you put on there and all the things you did to the engine or whatever, it really doesn't matter much to the next guy buying it. It's still worth the same as a stock one in the same condition. So most of the time, unless you're selling race cars or something like that. Yeah, Just Day says, got to watch Mike by the Sun's video on Hellcat hunting. Yeah, Mike by the Sun, his channel's great, and he was going through a long period of shopping for Hellcats, and so he's kind of the used Hellcat expert on YouTube. So anybody looking at used ones, or go watch Mike by the Sun's channel, because he did a bunch of that, bunch of shopping, and he took his time and found the right one that he wanted for the right price, the right condition, and he didn't just panic and jump on something. He really extensively shopped, and it's pretty cool stuff on this channel. Highly recommend it. Sean says, reproduction Hellcat wheels are not that expensive, and they look great. Yeah, I agree. They do look really good, and the price is pretty amazing. When I first saw them, I thought these are going to be probably, I didn't even want to go look, but then I started going looking at them. It's like, that's not bad, really. So. Octane Hemi says the next thing he's going to do is a dyno tune. Cool. Sean recommends that JW 496 orders the 555R Nitos. Like I said, I can't really make any recommendations because I have the stock tires still. So I just know from what I've read and talked about. That's all I know. I don't have any personal experience with any of them. So. 11 people. We got a weekend off of football here. Next week will be the Super Bowl, so I don't know if I should do a live chat during that or not. I probably won't have anybody here, but we might do it anyway just for fun. I don't care about the game personally, so I know most people do. So, yeah. Go Rams. I don't particularly care who wins. I mean, I think like most people get tired of the Patriots being there 80% of the damn time, it seems like. So, but whatever, they're a good team. They deserve it. So pretty impressive organization, pretty impressive run they've had the last, quite a while now, actually. Yeah, I quit watching Aaron Dunn. I quit watching too a couple of years ago. This will be my second full season that I haven't watched. I caught part of one game last year because I went to someone's house for Thanksgiving or something. I can't remember. It was a holiday thing. We went to a relative's house and they had a game on. So I accidentally caught part of a game, but other than that, I don't care anymore. So after being a lifelong Denver Bronco fan, never missing a game, never missing a play, went to tons of games, got the tattoo, owned every piece of Broncos stuff you could imagine, but I got fed up a couple years ago. Oh, Aaron just watches still, just not the Super Bowl. Yeah, Super Bowl is such a huge event, and it's more than just the game. It's all the commercials and the halftime show and they start the pregame show like in the morning, and it goes, got like a 10-hour Super Bowl thing on TV. So it's a huge, huge event. You're a Pittsburgh fan. I used to really enjoy going to the games. It was a lot of fun, and it's kind of expensive, but it's fun. It's worth it, and it's a really, really good time. Even when it's freezing cold outside, you're still sitting there having a good time, getting into the game. Have a couple of beers, maybe. Or there's been a few games where I had a bunch of coffees because it was so damn cold. I just kept buying coffee, even though the coffee was absolutely horrible. But it was so damn cold. The Jags, but they suck. The Broncos suck right now too. So I haven't been paying any attention, like I said, but we're having friends and stuff who are fans and catching people on, Instagram and Facebook and all that. You kind of hear what's going on, even though you're not paying attention. I'm not paying any attention, but I still catch it because people are talking about it. So, Dominic, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. We're having a good time just talking about tires and football and cold air intakes and we got a guy in here who just got his 2016 Scat Pack, just had it just delivered. So he bought it in Montana, had it shipped to Maine. He just got it, so he's pretty excited. He's asking some advice on a few things like tires. So got some guys in here helping him out, which is really, really cool. And we talked about the mark. What do we think? What do you think the markup price on the GT500 is going to be, guys? It's probably supposed to be a $70,000 or $80,000 car, and some of the dealers are going to try to mark up that thing crazy. So I wonder what some of the prices we'll see on that are. It's going to be interesting to see. Aaron Dunn, any good car meets out where I'm at in my area other than what you see in my videos? Not really. There's not much out here as far as like car. We have a lot of classic car shows, but they're all the same in this area. You go to whichever one you go to, you're going to see the same cars, maybe a few other ones tossed in there, but there's a really good like classic car show down in Marysville, Kansas, which is actually pretty huge. It goes for several, like 10 blocks of cars on both sides. It's really cool, but it's all classic car stuff. So as far as newer stuff, there's really not much. You just don't see a lot of these cars out here, and there's not a lot of like shows or meets or cars and coffees or anything. They're all in Omaha, which is like 200 miles from me. So Sean S, is there a Nebraska Challenger Club? Not that I know of. There might be. I should probably look into that, but I don't know of one. If there is one, there probably very likely is. But Aaron Dunn says the GT500 will be sky high. Yeah, probably. Hopefully, some dealers are still selling it at MSRP, just like with the Demon and the Redeye and the Hellcats when they first came out. There were some dealers were selling it for MSRP like they should. But you have a bunch of them that are going to go crazy marking it up and try to get people to buy it. And then those people will be sorry when in 2 or 3 years you can buy one at MSRP and they bought one that's a first year one that's cost them twice that much or something. Just Dave says the Detroit Auto Show was pretty lame this year. Well, I do like the GT500. Not sure about the carbon fiber rims though. Yeah, I think they look really cool, and the carbon fiber rims are a really cool thing, but I can't imagine. I mean, I know they cost a fortune. I know the ones on the GT350, the 350R, I think, has carbon fiber rims. And from what I understand, they're super expensive. So God forbid you did something to one of those things. I'd hate to think the replacement cost on one of those. But they're very lightweight, which is awesome. But road trip to Florida. Yeah, I need to take a road trip somewhere warm. Yeah, Dave, I agree. The Detroit Auto Show was it was pretty lame. I mean, other than the GT500, there was not much there that that new Jeep pickup was kind of cool. And I'm not really into the Supra thing. I know a lot of people were excited about that, and that was kind of big news with the Supra and everything, but that's just not my thing, so it wasn't exciting to me, but that's cool that they finally brought that out. I've been talking about it forever. But yeah, I thought the Jeep pickup was pretty cool, and the GT500 was cool. Other than that, I didn't see much that was I think everybody was hoping there was going to be some big announcement, whether it be something to do with the 426 from Mopar or maybe the mid-engine Corvette, but neither one of those things happened. So that would have made it a much more exciting show if either one of those things would have been a thing, but nothing yet. So Aaron Dunn says, you wish you could have bought the first year Ford GT. Yeah, me too. Those are cool cars. Dominic says when the GT350 came out, he saw markups of 120,000, and that car is 60,000. Yeah, I know. I saw one. Well, I put up a thing where I think it only had a $40,000 markup, but still, that's insane. I don't think I doubt they actually got that much money, but I mean, they probably got way above MSRP. Thanks, John Paul. Take care, man. Have a good night too. Appreciate your support. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate it. So then when they came out with this last Ford GT, they had to, you couldn't just go buy one. You had to put in an application to buy one, and then they picked who could buy one. So that's pretty. I saw several YouTubers who were big YouTubers that had tried, and I think a couple of them succeeded and a couple of them got turned down. So pretty crazy when you got to apply to buy a car. No matter how much money you have to apply to the company. Please let me buy one of your cars. Just Dave says he's amazed for as long as the challenges and charges have been around, they still draw a crowd. Yeah, they do. I mean, my car still gets thumbs up and draws a crowd, and people still like it, even though it's been exactly the same since 2015, and it basically the same since they brought them back in 2009. Hellcat Hemi says dealerships seem to be a little bit money hungry. Well, I mean, that's their job, is to make money, but yeah, I think doing these huge markups is crazy, and I think it hurts them in the long run. Like I talked about in my video earlier, you know, you may make a bunch of money on that one car, and that's great, good for you, but it kind of just shows other people like, yeah, do I want to deal with these guys if I'm going to buy a pickup truck or something, and they got a GT500 on the lot, and they want, $50,000 over MSRP? Do I really want to buy, even though I'm not looking for that car, I'm looking for a pickup truck for my business or something? Maybe I don't want to deal with these people. Look what they're trying to do. It just seems weird. I might go to a different place to buy that's just me though. I think in the long run, it puts a little bit of a black mark on your reputation, and it can hurt you more than it helps you. So kind of like with what happened with Paul from Family Cruising, and then just my opinion, or a lot of people's opinion, is that dealership that he had the trouble with kind of got him in trouble by bringing his videos to the attention of the police, and they may have gotten out of they may think they have won or gotten out of their little lawsuit issue with him or whatever over the fire and all that stuff. But I think that in the long run, that's going to hurt them more than help them, because everyone knows that dealer now, and a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth, and they won't go there for service or to buy a car. So. Yeah, Dominic says even the 13 GT500 with 650 horsepower is still worth like $60,000. Yeah, those cars are badass still to this day, and still worth a lot of money. Just Dave says the Lincoln Continental with the suicide doors is pretty sweet. Yeah, that's such a cool looking car. That's like a classic. It'll always look good. It looked good then, and it'll always look good. It's one of those cars that looks good. It fits any era. It always looks good. So. Aaron Dunn, what happened with Paul? As far as he took his channel down at the advice of his attorneys, and so no one really knows what's going on. He's been on RT Life's channel a couple times in a live stream like this, talking, but he won't talk about any of that stuff. So nobody really knows what's going on. Court takes forever. He had 30 charges or whatever. I can't remember now. A whole bunch of charges. So who knows? That'll probably take a while, especially considering where he lives. I'm sure court cases take forever around there, especially with as big of a community and all that stuff. And it's going to probably take a long time for that to all settle out and see what happens. Hopefully he gets his channel and back up at some point if he can. That would be awesome, because like I said a couple weeks ago or whatever that was, I kind of think the Mopar YouTube community is kind of missing something without him. He had a very entertaining channel, and even if you didn't like him, it was still a really entertaining channel. I liked him, and I thought he was a cool guy and great channel, and cool car. I got away from it just a little bit when he got rid of when the Hellcat burned up. Wasn't that into the Viper as much, but I always thought, before this last episode happened where he got in trouble, I was hoping he was going to get back into a Challenger of some sort, because he kind of hinted around that he was going to do something different. So hoping it was going to be, a Redeye or another Hellcat or something, but who knows? Hopefully he'll be back, and we'll find that all out later. So we'll see. But I bet you he will not be doing any more street racing on video. I mean, I liked his Viper too, but his Challenger, his Hellcat was awesome, and he did a lot of cool stuff to it, and just he did a lot of cool stuff with it and to it, and being a Challenger guy and all that, more of a muscle car guy than a sports car guy. Although the Viper's kind of a muscle sports car, but anyway, still cool. But yeah, Dominic. Hopefully, he just gets some probation and fines and nothing major. But yeah, he lost his job, and I have no idea what the status of that is, if he's found another job or not. But jobs don't like it when you go to jail and then your picture's on the front of the paper talking about street racing and endangering minors or whatever the hell it was. So yeah, that's too bad, because I know he had a pretty good job. You could tell just from his videos, you could see his house and his cars and all that stuff. So yeah, and his wife doesn't work, from everything that I've been told. So he was the sole provider for the family, and he had a lot of nice stuff way before his channel ever was big, and obviously had a fairly, pretty good job. So sad to see him lose that. But if he has those kind of skills, I would imagine he would be able to hook up somewhere else. I hope so anyway. He deserves to. So. Hate to see anybody lose their job, whether it's, no matter what it is. Then there was like 4 or 5 other people arrested with, connected with that. So interesting. Definitely some crazy stuff going on there. Yeah. Yeah, but I still can't pronounce your name. P Dada, I guess. She has a job now, at least part time, driving him around looking for a job, because he's not going to have a license. Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe he can get one of those driving to work kind of licenses. Where, I don't know if they have that there, but I know here, if you get in trouble, sometimes you can still get a license simply going to work and back. And if you're caught doing anything else, you're screwed. But Aaron Dunn hated leaving the military. He lost half of his income. That's hard to do. That's hard to lose half your income, man. Damn. Yeah, Dominic, the endangering the minor part was a hit below the belt and total BS. Totally. I mean, anybody who's ever, pulled out of a car show and punched it a little bit, or there's so many things that could be considered endangering a minor if there was a kid standing anywhere nearby, or, that's just, that was uncalled for. I don't think they should have done that. That's a really weird mark on your record to have to explain that to anybody in the future, totally unfair. He didn't do anything to endanger any minors. Just Dave, anything good happened this weekend, Joey? Not really. Pretty slow weekend. Like I said, weather hasn't been great. Just kind of made a couple videos, and I got around the house, did a lot of cooking, and nothing wonderfully great happened this weekend. But that can be nice sometimes too. You don't have to have the most exciting weekend all the time. So Aaron Dunn gets half his pay for no work. So yeah, I guess that's not too bad of a trade-off. 25 years. Yep. So P Data says it's called the Cinderella license in Massachusetts, where you can drive dawn and dusk. But if you're street racing, I don't think. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I know, for the endangering. Yeah, those charges might be bad enough to where you can't get that license. I think people who get their license suspended for like child support and things like that, not paying, those are more the people that get those kind of licenses, I think, because they want you to be able to go to work, and you haven't really done anything traffic wise to get in trouble. But What did I cook this weekend? I made some homemade chicken soup. I made some chicken green chili. I made some fried rice tonight, chicken fried rice. So a few little things here and there. I like to cook a lot, so I do most of the cooking in the house. She does all the cleaning, so that's a pretty good. I like that trade-off. I get the groceries and I cook them. I make all the meals, and I don't have to clean them up. I'll take that any day of the week. So I like to cook a lot. That's one of my hobbies is cooking. I've cooked a little bit on the channel a couple times, just real quick little funny things, but yeah, I'm not big on washing the dishes and the pans and all that. So she's eager to do that if I do the cooking. So that works out perfect. I'll take that deal every day. Don't care. That's fine with me. Yeah, I like to grill out too. That's fun. I did that Friday night. I did some steaks out on the grill, and it turned out pretty good. It was a little chilly outside, but it was not too bad. So you can't beat a steak on the grill, even if you get a cheaper cut. If you do it out on the grill, it's still going to be pretty damn good. So, or burgers or chicken, or when spring and summer rolls around, we use the grill like several times a week. In the winter, it's only not quite as often, obviously. But when the weather's, if it gets in the 40s or something, I'll go out there and cook. Cold beer and a hot grill. I don't drink much beer anymore. I don't know why. I just don't have time to be drinking. Got too many things to do. I used to drink a lot of beer. I like beer, but the best steaks are the ones that start to brown at the store and they go on sale. Yeah, I've heard people say that before. Yeah, not drinking is definitely the money saver. Food is expensive enough without having to buy beer and stuff too. Yeah, it is probably more tender because it starts to break down the enzymes or whatever. And yeah, probably. We used to buy quarters of beef from a place a few miles up the road from here. It was really good, excellent meat, but it's a big investment all at once too, and it can vary because you'd say you want a quarter, and it can weigh anywhere from, I forget the weights, but there's a big drastic depending whether it's a big one or a little one. There can be several $100 difference in the price depending on how big it is. So it's risky when you order one because you don't know if you're going to get a small one or a huge one. But it is worth it. It's good, and it ends up being a really good deal per pound. So Aaron Dunn can buy a 12 pack. It lasts 6 months. Yeah, most of mine goes out of date now. I'll buy a 6 pack and have 3 of them in there, and I'll go in there a way later to get one and realize, oh God, how long has this been in there? I'll look on the date. It's like, oh, it's been out of date like 2 months ago. I just don't drink that much anymore. I got a bunch of booze for Christmas too from people at work, and um, some Canadian whiskey and some bourbon and some other stuff, but I don't really drink that much. But it's nice to have it around, if I do decide to have a drink or if somebody comes over and wants one, I got the stuff here, so that's always good. Ask Kicker Rich says, do you plan on doing any mods to the Scat Pack, or are you still interested in getting a Hellcat? Definitely still interested in getting a Hellcat. Um, Going to get a Hellcat. As far as mods to the Scat Pack, I don't know. I'm kicking. I don't know. I'm torn on that. I want to, just not sure. I guess that's the best answer I can give you. So probably do some more cosmetic stuff to it. As far as performance mods, I don't know. And like I always say, I still got those crappy 245 tires on there, which I need to do something with before I even worry about any more horsepower or torque because they can't handle what it has now. So tires would come first, and then maybe think about some mods. Just Dave says he's supposed to get some snow tomorrow, and he's been pretty impressed with his Charger GT so far. Well, I bet. Yeah, it's probably pretty good in the snow, I would imagine. Those are cool cars. Hyatt Hemi says he used to drink a lot of beer, but he scared himself about 5 years ago and dropped the habit. So I'll have one or two now if he's hanging with somebody. Yeah, kind of how I am. If the occasion arises, and I'll have a couple beers or a few beers, but I just don't go out of my way, and I don't really buy any to bring home. And like I think my brother came back to town a few months ago. We went out to one of the local bars here and sat down and had, I don't know, 2 or 3 beers and talked and stuff. But that's probably the last time I had more than one. I think I can't remember for sure. But yeah, if the moment arises and there's a bunch of dudes around, we're gonna go do something, or we're hanging out and having a cookout on a weekend or something, I might have a beer or two. But like I said, it's not something that it's just, I don't know. Just Dave says, when you see another Challenger on the road, do you ever check the badge on the side of the car? I've been catching myself doing it. I always do. I always check it you can see it coming, and you can usually kind of tell what it is. But sometimes you got to wait and see what's it got on the side. I do that all the time. Same when I see a Mustang or something too. Is that GT, or is it say 50, or you can tell the GT350 pretty much. But yeah, a lot of cars that way. It's like, what is that? Same with some of the previous generation of Camaros. A lot of them look the same. So sometimes I'm not a Camaro expert or a Camaro guy really. So sometimes I got to say SS in the front there, yeah, up in the grill or whatever, just to see what it is. Ask Kicker Rich, ever try to put the back seat down? Yeah, have. Yeah, sometimes I'll see some really good looking like Mustangs or Camaros, and then I realize, oh, it's just the V6, which is nothing wrong with that, but I don't see a lot of Challengers where I live. There's only one other Challenger in town. It's a 6-cylinder. I live in a tiny town of 1,800 people, so. But when I go to like Hastings, Nebraska, Grand Island, Nebraska, Lincoln, or Omaha, I see quite a few Challengers, a few Hellcats, a few Scat. I don't think I've seen another Scat Pack on the road in Nebraska that I can think of. Scat Pack Chargers, but not another Scat Pack Challenger. I've seen a few Hellcats and lots of SXTs, and then some of the older ones. Mango 392, what's up, Joy? What's up, everyone? How you doing, Mango? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Welcome. Join the fun here. Yeah, Aaron, I like to see another Challenger rolling around. It is cool. Usually kind of, hey. We have the same taste in cars. I've noticed some of the older Mopar guys, though, with the classic muscle car Mopars, they don't want to associate with some of the new car guys. I like those cars too. I love them, but they don't seem as interested in our cars as I do in theirs. A lot of them are kind of like, oh, that's not a real Mopar. That's not a real Hemi. Just Dave says, living in Michigan, they're everywhere. I would imagine, probably. I was born in Michigan and lived there till I was 8. And we have family has a cabin up there in northern Michigan, up on the Osable River, Mayo, Michigan. So I spent a little bit of time in Michigan. He says having a 6-cylinder and a Challenger is like bringing home a hot girl from the bar, in which takes her bra off, her brother's socks fall out. Not quite that bad. Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. Aaron says they've taken over the classic scene in Florida with all the modern day muscle. I think a lot of those guys aren't happy because for a long time they had bragging rights for horsepower and all that stuff, because there was, after the 60s and the very early 70s thing ended and that all got legislated out of existence, those cars were, really special. They still are, but there was decades where there was nothing that was anywhere near that cool or that much horsepower. And then now the last few years that's kind of changed and it's gone the other way. So I think they're kind of like, well, damn, what happened? This was our domain. We owned this thing and now we don't, So That might be part of what that is. Dave Summerhill says, old Bubba, 392, 73-year-old, love my Charger. Keep loving that Charger, man. I like Chargers too. If I had like my kids are pretty much grown, so if I had to have a 4-door, I would definitely get a Charger. And it says there's always more challenging in Chargers. I think in the muscle car scene up there. Yeah, very popular car. Yeah, emissions were in the mid 70s, and then the gas crisis didn't help that either, and the emissions thing. So it pretty much those cars were, they had no way to keep that kind of horsepower and all that stuff, and still follow and still, have the emissions work like they should and have the gas mileage that they were going to need. So they pretty much got the government killed muscle cars, and they could do it again, I guess. Hopefully they won't, but. Mango 392 says, Joey, I have a source saying that in 2025, that they will slowly get rid of the 392, and they're talking about 5.7, the 5.7 Hemi with the supercharger. What's your thoughts? That could happen. I mean, a lot of things could happen. We hear a lot of stories are going to be electric assist on some of these cars, on the muscle cars coming up, and we're hearing about the 426 going in something. We're hearing about, like you say, the supercharged 5.7 and get rid of the 392. So we'll just have to see. I mean, FCA and Mopar and all that, they really keep you guessing on what they're doing. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. But definitely there's always interesting news and interesting stuff going on there for sure. 5.7 Hemi with a supercharger would probably be pretty damn cool. So. Just Dave said he drove a Challenger GT and it just felt off with the V6, but his friend has one and loves it. Yeah, I've seen a couple people. I don't know anybody, but I've seen people on YouTube that have them, and they seem to love them, and it seems to be a good car. So that crazy gamer, hello, welcome. Aaron Dunn says they regulated all the bumpers and made the cars look junky. Yeah, they did. Just Dave, all electric cars. Ugh, yeah, I agree. Some of these electric cars are super fast, and you get all the torque instantly, and they launch amazingly, but they're still electric, and they don't sound cool. They don't feel cool, and they just, I don't know. I'm always going to be a combustion engine fan. You're going to miss. I don't know. I don't think that's going away anytime soon, totally, but definitely there's going to be a blend of the two. Mango 39 says, do you think the 426 will fit? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably not. They'd have to do something different, but who knows what these cars are going to be in a couple of years, whether they even look the same or be the same size, or who knows? I don't know. Hear a lot of people on YouTube claiming the 426 is coming in a production car, and they say they have sources, and there's no doubt about it, and it's happening, and other people say it's not happening. And from everything I've read and heard, it's like obviously it's a crate engine that you can buy, but it's for older cars. And I saw some stuff, of course, I think everyone else did too, about them trying to get the emissions right with it so that they could put it in something, but that they're not that close to that situation right now. So we'll see. Who knows? Mopar keeps you guessing. They always keep things interesting, and I think they do some of that on purpose, and some of it because it's probably just kind of chaos, and some of it on purpose to keep everybody's attention. Pidata says, I'm not hating on Chargers, but if you own one, you might as well go buy a fake cop uniform. Whenever you're behind someone on the highway, they're going to think you're a cop. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of cop car Chargers. They use them here. The State Patrol uses them here. Aaron Dunn says, yeah, no, you can't have cars without noise. I agree. The noise is part of the experience. All that loud, the noise and vibration and the way that it feels and sounds, the whole experience, it's all part of it. It's not just the speed. I mean, great speed is amazing. If there's an electric car that can, do a 1/4 mile in 9 seconds, that's awesome. But it's missing important parts of it's an experience. It's not just the result. Zunigas, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Zunigas Bagger, what's up from Northern California? How you doing, man? Welcome. Good to see you here. Aaron says he wouldn't drive a Challenger without the noise. Yeah, the noise is one of the most important parts. It's kind of like my motorcycle. The noise is the best thing. It's not fast, but the whole experience of it is great, so. Bagger says he has a 2018 Dodge Challenger TA 392 bagged and allowed. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. Aaron Dodd says he did a test ride on an electric bike and was impressed. I saw Harley Davidson came out with an electric bike, or they're coming out with one or whatever. It looks weird, and it's going to be something like $35,000 or something. So shouldn't. I don't think that's going to be around long. I could be wrong, but. And a lot of electric cars that need to make a little bit of noise just for safety reasons too. You can sneak up on somebody walking or something, somebody walks out in front of you, they don't hear you coming. I know they have things to overcome that issue, but that crazy gamer says that him and his dad plan on going to the Mopar Nationals and enter the Challenger in the car show and drag race. Cool. That will be fun. That's got to be a good time right there. Something to look forward to for sure. Just Dave, electric vehicles, the new silent killer. It took some getting used to driving that Prius when I was driving it because, it shuts off when you stop at a light or a stop sign or something. And then instantly, it's kind of like driving a golf cart. It comes back on instantly when you hit the gas again, but it shuts off and on all the time. It's kind of weird. I'm used to it now. I don't notice it, but at first it was like the car shut off and then you have to, oh yeah, it's supposed to do that, The crazy gamer says they may also take the 69 Plymouth Roadrunner. Cool. 69 Plymouth Roadrunner is pretty cool. That's a great car. Great looking car, for sure. Aaron Dunn says the Zero bike was kind of cool and fun until they told you the price. Yeah, and how long the battery lasted. That's the other problem with the electric stuff. A lot of the stuff is like, damn. You'd think they'd be able to give some better battery power on these things nowadays, but there's still a lot of them that have to be charged all the time. Like the hybrids don't charge, obviously. You don't have to charge them, but fully electric stuff you do. So motorcycles are supposed to be noisy. Whether it's a dirt bike or a cruiser or whatever, or a sport bike, they should make noise, damn it. That crazy gamer, what's your thought on the Ram Rebel TRX? The Ram Rebel is cool as hell. I don't know a whole lot about it other than it's cool looking and it sounds like it's cool. And I've seen some videos and people seem to love it. So it's definitely a cool truck. The louder the better. Yes, Bagger, I agree. Mango 392, still thinking about trading in your Scatty. Yeah. Got Hellcats on the brain. I really like the Ford Raptor too. That's a very cool truck. I saw there's a couple Ford Raptors around here, so they're pretty cool trucks. Dominic says he saw a wide body the other day and they look better in person, a lot better in person. I think they literally look good, in pictures and videos too. So if they look better in person, I can't wait to see one. I think they look great. Most cars look better in person though. It seems like no matter what it is, sometimes I'll see a car in a picture and think, oh God, why, it doesn't look right. But then you see it in person. It's like, oh, okay, I kind of get it now. It makes more sense. Although that new Camaro doesn't look that good in person. It's ugly in pictures and videos, and it's not that much better looking in person. P-Data says, serious question I'll be getting. Obviously, the Scat Pack, this may be when you drive it and floor it. Lost its thrill to you, or is it just good the first day? Has it lost its thrill? No. It'll still get you in trouble really quick, and you still got to pay attention. And yeah, it hasn't lost its thrill at all. I want more, of course, with the Hellcat, but no, still, whether you punch it from a roll or you punch it from a full stop or whatever you're doing, it's still a thrill every single time. It never really gets old, and it's extremely fast, even though it's not as fast as a lot of other cars. It's still a very, very fast car, and it's faster than 95% of the cars you're going to pull up next to. So Aaron Dunn says he's out of here. Great show tonight. Thank you. Enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, I enjoyed it too, man. Please come back again. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. Really, really, thank you very much. Have a good week. I'll get some videos out and maybe do another one of these chats too, sometime during the week. A shorter one, probably. Brian says 440 Magnum sound. Yeah. There's a lot of great sounding engines over the years. I think a lot of the Mopars had great, the new Hemis and the old Hemis and the 440s and all that sound great. And one of the best sounding cars I've ever heard, though, is that the Mustang GT350. And what an amazing sounding exhaust and engine, everything. It's just incredible. Crazy Gamer, is your car a 6-speed? If you're talking to me, yes, my car is a 6-speed. I had to have the 6-speed. Sean Egan says he doesn't drive a Scat that much, just 6,500 miles in the first year. Yeah, Sean, you're right when you say that the car is a blast to drive and you get a lot of looks. You really do. So, and I've actually experienced some negativity because of the car from people who are, I don't know if jealous is the word, but they think like you don't deserve it or something like that. So I don't know. People are weird, but yeah, most of it 95% positive and lots of fun. And Scat Pack's not a car you're going to get tired of driving. It's not going to become boring because it's still got a ton of power. So just Dave, yeah, haters going to hate. I was telling the story. I've gotten complaints about the noise, and I had a 74 Ford pickup with a 360, and it was way louder than this car. And it was parked in the street closer to, people's houses. And I had to go out in any kind of a cool morning to get it started. I used to take it to work every day. I had to start it, and I had to sit out there and rev it up to keep it running until it got warmed up. It took about a couple of minutes of that before it would warm up enough to where I could let it run on its own. And so nobody ever complained about that because it was a crappy old truck. Well, I thought it was a cool truck, actually, but it was an old truck. It wasn't worth a lot of money. It wasn't a nice truck. It was just an cool old truck, but nobody ever complained about that, even though it was way louder. I get a nice car that's not as loud and people complain about the sound. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, Sean, exactly. People think, oh, $50,000 on a car, you must be rich. But there's people, just like you say, all around this town driving brand new pickups that are way more expensive than my Scat Pack. So, there's $65,000, $70,000 trucks are very common all around here. So, I'm not sure why $50,000 for a car is a lot of money. It's really not. I mean, average cars are in the $25,000, $30,000 range, so it's not that much more than an average vehicle. So. Even if you get into Hellcat money and things like that, that's not that much money for a car these days, really. I mean, it's not. Sean says he's actually a Ford and a Dodge guy, and all my Ford buddies love the car, so it's the Chevy guys that tend to be more negative. Yeah, I'm an everything guy. I like Fords. I love Ford pickups. I love old Ford trucks. I've had a few, and I would love to build an old like 65 Ford pickup or something on airbags, and I think that'd be really something that I would dream of and really want. And yeah, so I'm not like Mr. Dodge guy. I love Fords. I love Dodge. I love. There's a few. I'm a big Corvette fan. Besides Corvettes, I'm not a huge Chevy fan, but I do really love Corvettes. I used to really love Corvettes when I was a kid and a teenager, and in my 20s and stuff, I was a Corvette fanatic. But I could tell you everything. I've forgotten most of it now, but I could tell you the differences between a 71, a 72, and a 70, and all that stuff. And so I don't stick to one brand, but yeah. Just Dave used to be a GM guy, but the new cars they're putting out don't do anything for me. Same here. I've bought new GM cars in the past, and I've owned lots of GM cars, and I've owned some Chevy trucks, and like I said, I love Corvettes. A big Corvette fanatic, still like them a lot. But yeah, their cars now they all look the same, and they're going with this family styling thing where they all kind of look the same, and you can really tell it's a Chevy. And I don't like the way it looks, so. Other than the Corvette, the Corvette, it's always kind of its own thing. You can't even really almost consider that a Chevy. It's kind of its own thing. They do their own thing. But see you later, Pradada, or however you say your name. You're checking out. I enjoy you being here, man. Thanks for coming into the chat. Take it easy. Have a good night. We're about an hour and 15 minutes in, hour and 16 minutes. Sean Egan went to the Corvette, Corvette Summer with Mark Hamill in 1978. I love Corvettes and Pontiacs, especially the Trans Am. Yeah. Novotaz, who comes in here, I think he has a live stream going on tonight too, so he won't be in tonight, I don't assume. But yeah, he's rebuilding a Trans Am. My uncle had a '79 Trans Am. Yeah, I think everybody back in the late '70s, the Corvette Summer movie with the Corvette, and then of course the Smokey and the Bandit movies with the Trans Am. They must have sold millions of those cars because of those movies, but that Corvette Summer was not the greatest movie, but it was a fun car movie. But the story was kind of shaky. But the Crazy Gamer's got to get out of here. He's going to school tomorrow. Thank you for being here, Crazy Gamer. Take care. See you next time. Please keep showing up and watch the channel and the videos too. Have a good night. Thank you. I'm more of like an American car guy. I like all the companies pretty much. I'm not big into the imports, but and the supercars and all that. But I mean, I respect them, and I'm not like anti that either. So just like with motorcycles, I'm a Harley guy, but doesn't mean I don't like other bikes. Every bike is cool. So they all serve different purposes, I never understand the whole brand loyalty. This is my brand, and everything else sucks. I just don't really understand that whole thought process. Some people are that way, and that's fine. But to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense personally. Oh. It's awful quiet here, guys. Yeah, you're up in Michigan, so a lot of people work for the automotive companies. That's how I ended up being born in Michigan. My grandfather, grandmother, my dad all worked at Ford Motor Company. My grandparents both retired from Ford, and actually he retired from the UAW. He was I can't remember the exact position that he was, but he ended up working for the union. So for Ford, I don't know how that all works, but But my family was from Kansas, but back in the 60s, everybody moved up to Michigan to work because of all the jobs up there in the auto industry. So. Sean Egan went to all the 70s car chase movies as a kid, and he's 50 now. Yeah. I miss those days. It was still far-fetched, but I kind of missed the car movies that were at least within the realm of reality a little bit. They're still crazy, but the modern more car movies are like so ridiculous with helicopters picking up the car and dropping it on top of a building, and then the guy rappels down and jumps through the sunroof of another car and drives it through the White House. It's just ridiculous, and I can't get into it. At least the car movies back then were just police chases and stuff, and sometimes it would be a little ridiculous, but someone needs to make some good old school car movies again that are somewhat semi-realistic, at least. Just Day says his dad refuses to get anything other than GM and everything else is crap. Yeah. Yeah, the original Vanishing Point is a really good movie. It's a weird movie, and it doesn't make a lot of sense at some points. It's one of those movies. They had a lot of movies like that back then. The storyline's a little bit, but it's still a really cool, just the mood of the movie. And the original Gone in 60 Seconds too, yeah. Go for Chuck's Games. What's up, Joey? Happy Sunday. Hey, happy Sunday to you too. Go for Chuck's. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in. Sean Egan says he was going to get a white Challenger because of the Vanishing Point. Cool. But the Octane Red from my videos changed his mind. The videos from last fall, yeah. That's cool. I'm glad that I influenced somebody to get Octane Red. That's pretty cool. I like hearing that. Go for Chuck's Games, the only Mustang guy here. I'm a Mustang guy too. I drive a Challenger, but I love Mustangs too. We're talking about the GT500 earlier, and GT350 and GT350R and all that stuff. Great, awesome cars, and the Mustang GT. You can't get for the amount. I mean, you cannot get a better deal on a performance car than the Mustang GT. There's just it's crazy. It's a crazy deal. So nothing against Mustangs coming from me. The Fast and the Furious was the best, and I can't remember if I've seen a couple of the Fast and Furious movies, but there wasn't much in there that I remember a whole lot about. I went and saw, I guess it was the last one because there was a demon in it. That's the only reason I went to it. Was that the last Fast and Furious where they had the demon was in it just for a very short couple of clips there, but before it actually had come out. Just Dave says he likes him, but he can't afford a Mustang right now, but he can dream. Yep, just keep dreaming and just picture it, feel it, and things will come to you, man. Dominic asked if they ever watch Meekum or Barrett Jackson. Yeah, I love watching auctions. And that is kind of a dream, is to be able to just to be there would be great, and to be able to be there and buy anything or bid on anything, even the lower down stuff, not the crazy, like on the Barrett Jackson when it gets towards the end and they got the, super ridiculous collector cars. But even the beginning stuff where they just got kind of regular stuff, that would be just an incredible moment to be able to be there and bid on some stuff. That's a dream of mine, something that I want to accomplish at some point. We'll see about that. But I've always, I took off, God, it was years and years ago. I used to take off work to watch the Barrett Jackson auction. People thought I was crazy. It's like, I got to have these days off because we worked late, and it would start. I lived in Colorado then. I can't remember how that all worked, but my shift and whatever, and I would I got to be off early so I can, because I got this Barrett Jackson auction I got to watch, and people would be like, "What?" And they let me off because I had time coming to me or whatever, but they didn't understand what I was talking about. Sean had a Mustang. He had an 03 Terminator Cobra that was 500 horsepower. Man, I bet that was a lot of fun. Probably a fairly light car with 500 horsepower, huh? Kovachuck says they have the Mecum auction not far from him. Cool. Yeah, the Mecum auction has more normal, affordable cars. I mean, really cool cars, but and the Barrett Jackson does too. It's just at the very beginning. The stuff they show on TV is when it gets farther into the higher. Some of the stuff in the very beginning is a little bit more realistic and achievable, attainable kind of stuff in the very beginning of it. And Barrett Jackson does other auctions besides the ones that they televise. I think they do other auctions too, which aren't as crazy collector items. Brian says Mustangs are for girls. They're too small. Camaros and Mustangs are a little smaller. Well, especially if you drive a Challenger or a Charger and then you get in a Mustang or Camaro, you realize, damn, there's a pretty big size difference. Very big comfort difference too. Still cool cars though. I'm not cutting them down. I'm just saying they're going after different things. They're trying to be more of a sports car. The Challenger's trying to be more of a traditional muscle car, big engine, comfort with power. And I think they've done a damn near perfect job of combining the two. It's a great car and I love it. So I'd like to just go to any car auction for that matter, just to check it out. I've been to a couple auctions that cars were part of the auction, but it wasn't just a car auction. Dominic says get a home improvement loan and go to the Mecum auction. Yeah, there you go. Gopherchuck says, I've heard it all, but 700 horsepower is 700 horsepower. Yep. This chat is brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper. Not really. My new sponsor. I wish. I decided to not go with the tea tonight. It tastes like regular Dr. Pepper, but it's got all those cancer-causing chemicals in it. But I'm trying to do the low-carb thing, so try to drink coffee, water, and I try to lay off the diet pop, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. It's my one addiction, cars and motorcycles. Well, I say my one addiction, then I name off like 4. I love soda. It's like the hardest thing to give up. Sometimes I buy them without realizing that I've bought one, and I'll buy another one, even though I've already got one open that I've been walking around with, and that's how bad it is. I do that at work. Work at a grocery store. I'll have one sitting back in my office area where I work, in my little area where I work, and I'll buy another one because I don't realize I already have one. So I'm a full-on diet pop junkie. Gopher Trucks Game says his wife likes the cherry vanilla, and he's a Dew fan. Yeah, I like a lot of the different diet. I like Mountain Dew tastes good. Regular Diet Pepsi. I like the Pepsi Zero or whatever it is. It used to be Pepsi Max, but they changed the name. It's got extra caffeine in it, which I drink in the morning sometimes. It wakes me up, and there's a lot of good ones. I really should cut back or stop, but I've stopped a few times for a few days, but then I always end up doing it again. So Crazy Nate says, what's up, Joey? Hey, what's up, Crazy Nate? Topic for today, we're talking about Mustangs and GT500s and GT350s, and we're talking about Challengers. We were talking about tires. We had a guy earlier. I believe he's gone now, but he just got his 2016 Scat Pack, I think today, shipped from Montana to Maine. He finally got it after a long wait. He was excited, so we talked about that, and a few of the guys here gave him some advice. So the topics are kind of going all over the place. I planned on talking about dealer markups on some of the like Demons, Redeyes, the new GT500 when it comes out. We were kind of discussing that just a little bit. What do we think the dealer markups are going to be on that car? It's supposed to be 70 or 80 grand, and I'm sure there's going to be dealers wanting over 100 for it. So we'll see. Just Dave says vanilla Coke is his favorite. Yeah, vanilla Coke is good. Cherry Coke, cherry Pepsi. I call it pop, but sometimes I catch myself calling it soda. I don't know why. Just I guess for a change of pace. I call it pop most of the time. Gopher Game says the 500 he sees at 75. Yeah, I was reading it's about $75,000, $80,000 or $70,000 to $80,000. But you know, some of the dealers are going to be slapping 25 or 30 or 40 grand on top of that as a, dealer add-on. What do they call it? Market adjustment is what they like to call it when it first comes out. Crazy Nate says I got great news for you that you want to hear. Okay. Sean Egan, Diet Coke for his adult beverages. The full name is Soda Pop. Yeah, you got to cover. If you say Soda Pop, you got it all covered then. And then some people just call everything a Coke, whether it's a Coke or not. It's a Coke. There's certain brand names of different products that they use for, like Band-Aid. No matter what kind of adhesive Band-Aid it is, it's a Band-Aid. Crazy Nate found a 2016 Hellcat for $51,000 with less than 10,000 miles. I know you're looking for one. Damn, that's a hell of a deal. 2016, which is good. 51K, which is really good and less than 10,000 miles. That's amazing. Where is that at? Less than 51,000 or 51,000 with less than 10,000 miles. Damn. I was been looking around a little bit, like on Car Gurus and stuff, checking a few out. They're starting prices are dropping a little bit more. They took a big drop there a while back, and then they kind of stuck, and now they're starting to seep down just a little bit again. I suppose with the new Hellcat and the Redeye and all that stuff, and a lot of other cars coming out now that more horsepower and more, it's going to probably affect those to some extent, which is good for those of us who are looking for used or maybe looking for used. We have 9 people. Yeah, Sean, I know. Trying to find a 6-speed Hellcat there's not too many out there, and not too many that are for sale. 10 to 15% of production. Yeah, that sounds about right, huh? Dominic saw a 15 Hellcat for $50,000 with 6,000 miles near Pittsburgh. Cool. Yeah, if you wait for the next fuel crisis or green fad, it's always a green fad. There's always some green fad going on, but they get them cheap. It's true. I don't really want to hope for a fuel crisis, but because then you get one that's like, well, I got it, but you really can't afford $7 gas. So Missouri. I'm not too far from Missouri. Brian says Mustangs and Camaros are for girly men. Mopar or no car. True, Dave. Just Dave. That's when the Prius comes in handy. Yeah, drive the Hellcat when you feel like it, and use the Prius for your everyday driver. I want to do some Prius and Challenger together videos, but I haven't gotten it organized yet. I'm gonna do a Prius Challenger drag race. Prius versus Scat Pack drag race. Yeah, Sean, I've heard the same thing about the 2015 Hellcat, the supercharger issues with the bearings, and also being the first year of something is always not always, but sometimes it's something to kind of avoid, because it usually takes, when something comes out, it usually takes a year, and there's going to be some problems arise that they're going to have to fix, and usually by year 2 or 3 they've got most of it under control. But High Octane says the Scat Pack's got to go in reverse or it wouldn't be fair otherwise. I just thought it'd be funny. Gopher Chuck says, swapping my MR2 for his wife. That will do okay on gas. Yeah, that would do pretty good on gas, I think, huh? Right now, I'm not a big gas price worrier, but if it does get up to, like right now, it's cheap as hell. But if we do get into a situation where gas gets up to like, we're talking $5 a gallon or something, that's when I'd start to get a little bit worried about it then. Kim likes to, she likes a Prius, so she's concerned about gas prices. And she also, like, if we're somewhere in another town or whatever, we need gas. I'm more of the guy that if I need gas, I'll just pull into the most convenient gas station. I don't even look at the price. I don't care less, but it's like this one's already on the right side. I can just pull right up there. I don't got to do anything weird, but this one's over here. It's on a frontage road. You got to make a left turn and then another left turn and then go around to McDonald's and get back there, but it's 2 cents cheaper. I don't give a damn. I'm just going to go to the one right here. And she's like, no, that one's cheaper. So we have different philosophies when it comes to that kind of thing. I figure on a tank of gas, if something's 2 or 3 or 5 cents difference, that's almost no money at all. It's not worth driving an extra block for. Crazy Nate said he found a 6-speed for $65K with a little over 15,000 miles. That's pretty good. The 6-speed is. I have a feeling I'm not going to end up with a manual when I get one, just because, like we were talking, like someone was just saying, 10 to 15% of them were with manuals. I will definitely hold out for that and try, but oh, you're gonna put the Honda engine. Yeah, I probably do spend more on car washes than fuel. I spend so much damn money on car washing. I put that in one of my videos as an expense, and I got responses from people that were like, "How can you put that as an extra car expense since you bought that car?" But my answer, like I told them, was all my other cars get washed once a month or whatever. Just when they get really dirty. This car, you want to keep it clean. It's going to cost you more money if you buy a car like this because you're going to want to keep it clean all the time. Sean Egan, $2. Thank you very much. Good night. Good night, Sean. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, come back to the next live stream. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the $2. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Awesome. You guys rule. Thanks, Sean. Dominic says the 2016s have the supercharger problems, not the 15s, because they switched companies to save money. Okay, so it's the 16s. I figured it would be the 15s because it was a first year thing, and they always have to work out all those little glitches and stuff. So it's the 16s. So did a lot of the 16s have that under warranty and get them fixed, I wonder? I suppose you could, find that out if you're shopping, you could find out if it was the original supercharger on there, if it was something that was fixed or replaced, I should say. Yeah, a lot of the companies are kind of phasing out the manual. I think it's a mistake. The Toyota Supra that came out apparently isn't going to be in a manual, which that seems crazy to me. But that little tiny sports car, it just looks like it should at least be offered with a manual transmission. Crazy Nate says to keep an eye out for me. Cool. Appreciate that. That one's at a Ford dealership? Nothing wrong with that. Keep looking cool. I appreciate that, Crazy Nate. I have some good viewers. You guys rule. Brian says Toyota is the most reliable. We have that Prius, and I have to admit it's pretty damn reliable. I shouldn't say that. They're knock on some wood here or something. Something will go wrong with it now that I said that, but it has been incredibly reliable. No problems whatsoever. Never been a Toyota fan, but It's won me over a little bit. Just Dave says people want manuals, but nobody's buying manuals. Yeah, it seems like kids these days don't even want to learn to drive one. Yeah, I know. And you know, you're teaching your kid how to drive. It's hard enough to teach them to drive, and then you got to try to teach them manual too. And a lot of them are intimidated by it. It is a good. I think we talked about this before. It's a really good theft deterrent, though. If people can't drive the damn thing, they're not going to steal it. Yeah, the Supra isn't a Toyota; it's a BMW. You're right. It's a BMW with Toyota badges. Crazy Nate likes his manual because his girlfriend can't drive off with it. Yeah, Kim drives them. She's like me. She prefers manuals. So we both agreed on that. We bought Challenger. We both wanted the manual. So go for Chucks. You've owned two BMWs. Yeah, I mean BMWs are nice, but I hear stories about down the road repairs and expensive repairs and parts, and I don't know if that's all true or not. But I know that you can find a lot of used BMWs, a lot of used Mercedes, very cheap, and apparently the reason for that is because once they start to get older, the parts and repairs are outrageously expensive. So I remember like 20 years ago, maybe longer than that. I think I had like a little Ford Escort or something, and I took it into one of those little, like Brakes Plus, just cheapo brake repair place, to get brake pads put on. And this kid came in strutting in with his mom, and he was all happy. He needed brakes on his car, and he's like, "It's a Mercedes," and he was all happy, kind of like making sure everybody saw that he had a Mercedes. It was like an older used Mercedes. The guy at the counter was like, I can't remember if he said they couldn't even work on it, or I think something. It was either they couldn't work on it, or he told them how much it was going to be because they'd have to order the parts. It had to be special this and special that, and you could just see his heart just sank, like, oh, because instead of the $150 brake job, it was going to be like really outrageous, or he couldn't even work on it. I can't remember what it was now, but I just remember the kid's heart sank, and it was kind of, I felt bad for him, but it was kind of funny in the same way because he was so damn proud of having that car. But probably wishing he had bought a Honda or a Ford or something at that point. Yeah, if you stay with American cars or Japanese cars, you're going to be able to fix most stuff yourself if you want to, and parts are going to be reasonable and abundant. You start getting into German stuff and other European stuff. Not only is it going to be expensive, you may not be able to get the damn part for a few days or sometimes longer, depending on where you live. And those parts aren't always right there waiting on the shelf over at the Napa or whatever. Yeah, another German Audi. Cool cars and everything. Mercedes are beautiful. Audis are beautiful. BMWs are awesome. But yeah, you start getting down the road a ways, it's no longer under warranty, and it's gotten some miles, and things start to go wrong, and it's gonna start costing you some money. Mean B 392 is in the house. What's up, man? Everybody, I know I always say this, but check out Mean B 392's channel. Great Mopar channel. Great, lot of installations and tutorials and stuff on there. So good stuff. He's got a great channel. So as soon as we're done here, everybody's gonna go check out Mean B's 392's channel and subscribe. Right. He's a good guy. Great channel. Every time I go to his channel, I look over at the subscriptions and I'm like, what the hell? He's should have a lot more. So he literally does some instructional, installations and stuff where every detail, and you can see it all. And so if you're going to do some of the stuff that he's done, he's going to show you exactly how to do it. Like better than an instruction manual. You can rewind and pause and whatever and go back. He does a really good job on that. He should be a professional. I don't know, someone who teaches people how to install shit on their car. Ryan says Mercedes, BMW, Audi are overrated pieces of shit. I don't know about pieces of shit, but they are technical cars and expensive cars, and they're very, like we just talked about, expensive to fix, expensive to maintain. And if you go buy one while it's under warranty and all that stuff, you're probably going to enjoy it. But if you have an older used one, you're going to be dishing out some money for repairs. Me and B, what's going on with you tonight? What's your weather like up there? We're not too bad here today, but we've got a bunch more cold on the way. It's been a rough winter. We've had several mild winters in a row, but we're paying for it this year. Yeah, Mean B says his goal is to help everyone with a detailed video so they can feel confident to do it on their own. And that's exactly what he does. If you're going to do any of the things that he does a video on, you can literally just use it as a way better instruction manual than what comes with the parts or whatever. And he'll show you everything that he does. Great camera angles, so you can really see what he did. You know, you got a lot of wind up there. Not too cold yet. Yeah, I saw the extended forecast for our Midwest area here, and it does not look good. We got a polar vortex or something going to come in, and it's just going to sit here and freeze the hell out of everybody for a while. So that should be a barrel of fun. Good times. I got to take Kim to the airport next Saturday, so I'm hoping for good weather. Got to drive a 400-mile round trip to the airport. That's how far in the middle of nowhere I live. To take her to the Omaha airport and come home, I have to drive 400 miles. We'll probably take the Prius for that. Not sure. We'll see. For gas mileage reasons, as well as if the weather gets really crappy, I'd rather be driving that than the Challenger. And the drive back, the last couple hours on the drive back is country highways, and there's just deer everywhere. So if I got to hit a deer, might be safer to hit a deer in the Challenger, but I'd rather hit a deer in the Prius if I have to hit a deer. I don't even want to talk about that. Ziggy and I says, all right, Ziggy and I will check out the Mean B 392. Cool. You got a blizzard coming there? Ugh. Yeah, we got below zero weather coming, I think, too. It's going to suck. Once it gets a certain amount below zero, it doesn't really make much difference. It's just so damn cold you can't tell. Yeah, just Dave, look into an Arctic Cat instead of a Hellcat. That might be an idea. Maybe a snowmobile with a Hellcat engine. Someone should do that. That's an idea. That would be a good channel. It's hard not to talk about the weather. I get tired of talking about the weather, but it's hard not to when you're in this middle of this cold crap all the time. It's like the main thing on your mind half the time, especially when you got a nice car and you want to go do stuff. And like, I want to make videos for you guys. And it's like, what am I going to do? It's, slushy, crappy roads, ice and snow. It's 15 degrees outside. So BB392, any big plans for this summer, Joe? I don't know. I don't really have any major plans. I want to do something. I want to get out and road trips. I'd like to get the car out to Colorado, up in the mountains. Some of the roads I used to drive on up there, and just have a little fun and maybe make some good videos out of that. I'd also like to get together with some other people if we could all meet somewhere, some other YouTubers or people from YouTube or whatever, and just kind of hang out and do some videos and hang out and do whatever, screw around with cars and have a good time. I've also thought about trying to get people to come here to my small town. I think that would be cool. I don't know how many people I could actually get to do that, but we could have a little get together here, get some cool cars, and make some noise and disturb the peace here in the little town and have a good time. I think it would be kind of cool if I could get something going here, even if it never got huge, it'd just be a few people and kind of make it a tradition every year to come out here and instead of doing it in the big city somewhere, do it out in the middle of nowhere like this. I think it'd be kind of a cool thing to do. Crazy Nate says he'll hit us up if we find a better deal. We'll make sure you get a video. Cool. Thanks, Crazy Nate. Yes, Mean Bee, it is a hard time for video creators. I always try to come up with some kind of an idea, but and sort of with my channel, I do a lot of news stuff and Mopar news and other YouTuber news and stuff. So I can do that in the house if I have to, but I like to do stuff, even if it's not necessarily about my car, I kind of like to do it in my car because the channel's based around the car and me. So I prefer to do it in the car. And I don't know if anybody saw my video tonight. My camera that I mount in the car is making so much damn noise. I'm going to have to do something about that and get a new one. So I'm not sure how many driving videos I'm going to be until I can. It's going to be a few days before I can. I'm going to have to order a camera, I guess, and wait on it to come in. But we'll see. Dominic says, how far am I from Colorado? I'm exactly 400 miles from where I used to live in Colorado Springs. It's 400 miles exactly to my old front door. To get up in the mountains west of Colorado Springs is where the roads and stuff that I was talking about are. Another few miles, another half an hour drive from there. So there's some really nice roads up. I don't know if anybody knows that area that much, but you get west of Colorado Springs, you get up into the mountains, up into Ute Pass and up into the Deckers area, and the road up to Cripple Creek, Colorado, and all those winding mountain roads. They do a lot of car commercials in some of these areas where you see cars going through mountain roads and stuff. And Pikes Peak Highway, which is all paved now. They do a lot of, when I lived out there, I would catch a lot of testing. I saw, what was the Porsche SUV type thing that they came out with years ago, decade and a half ago. I forget what it was called, but I saw that when they were testing it. There was a lot of disguised cars around there stuff because they use that Pikes Peak Highway to test high altitude driving and stuff like that, and extreme grades and stuff like that. So you got a lot of the car companies were out there doing stuff, and I got lots of photos and videos and stuff of that back in the day. So it's kind of cool. Crazy Nate says he loves the winter donuts, burnouts on ice. What more could you ask for? That's true. You could do some donuts. I did some really weak donuts in one of my videos because I forgot to turn the traction control off. I was like, damn, what the hell? And then by the time we set the camera down, I realized the mistake I had made. I had already drawn too much attention to myself and thought I better get out of there. So I didn't have time to turn the traction control off and make the video again because people were starting to stare. What's that guy doing? And being in a small town, I figured I better not get myself in too much trouble. So someday I'll get the traction control off and do some real donuts on video for you guys. But BB says, that'd be awesome to meet up if you're in Colorado. That is close to me. How close? North Platte to you. I'm in Superior, Nebraska, but I want to go to Colorado Springs. And so those roads west of Colorado Springs and all that. Cool. That's where I grew up out there. So mountain driving and snow driving. That's why the Scat Pack in the snow doesn't intimidate me or scare me or worry me at all. That's how I learned to drive. So rear wheel drive in the snow. So yeah, salt does ruin the cars for sure. That's the bad thing about winter. It's not so much like someone said before. It's not the snow. Yeah, Dominic just said it. It's not so much the snow and ice. It's the stuff that comes with it that eats the car up. But hey, SRT Crazy, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Phoenix, Arizona, it's been in the 70s. Man, you are so lucky. You washed your SRT yesterday. Had to take off your long sleeve shirt. Damn, I got like 3 layers on, and I'm in the house. The cost for the tags on the Scat Pack that we bought it in Kansas, so we paid the tags and taxes at the same, everything all together. The first year was because we had to pay the sales tax and everything. I think it was 42 or $4,400 or something. I can't remember. It was quite a bit. This last year when we renewed it, of course we had to pay the taxes, but we had to pay property tax on it. And I want to say it was $1,200 or something like that, or maybe not. That might have been $800. It was fairly low compared to that first one. I'd have to look that all up. I know it's crazy. I don't understand why you got to pay property tax on a car. I understand the sales tax the first year. I don't really understand that either, but whatever. Taxation is theft. But anyway, we won't go there. But yeah, I don't understand that we got to pay property tax on a car for the first 11 years that you own a car. Once the car's 11 years old, there's no more property taxes on it. But Nebraska has a lot of taxes. Yeah, don't rub it in, SRT. It must be nice at 70-degree weather. Of course, soon it'll be 100 degrees here in a few months, and I'll be bitching about that too. So, but I'll take that over this. I don't mind. I mean, I do mind 100-degree weather, but if I have to pick between the two, I'll take the 100-degree weather. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of taxes here. Yeah, with the property tax, I believe it's for 11 years, and it goes down a little bit each year. It's the first year, it's like some percentage of the original cost, and then the next year it's a little bit less percentage, and it goes all the way down to like some little small percentage the 11th year, and then nothing. So if you buy an 11-year-old car, you don't have to pay anything anymore. But if you buy a 5-year-old, it's just crazy. They suck the money out of you here one way or another. And like to not have a front plate, I have to pay $100 to not have a front license plate, which tells me that all that says to me is, why do we have to have one then? If I can pay to not have it, why do they make us have it in the first place? So I do pay to not have it, which I hate doing, but I'd rather do that than get a ticket for it. So property taxes on the house are pretty high here too. So houses are cheap, and rent. If you rent a house here, it's pretty cheap. We own the house, and I owned another house before this, but so real estate's fairly inexpensive, very inexpensive, and but their property taxes are pretty high. And every year we have a unicameral here. We don't have a Senate and a House in the state. We have one house. Every year at this time, they start talking about property taxes and that they got to do something about the high property taxes, but it's all talk. They talk about it. They tell everybody that they're going to do something or that they're thinking about it, but then nothing happens. And then they bring it up again the next year. And again, nothing happens. So, yeah, it's nice that we have the option on the front plate, because I'm not putting it on there no matter what. If they took that law away, I'd still drive without it. But like I say, though, if I can pay to not have it, aren't they just saying you really don't need it in the first place? It's like, yeah, it's very important that you have a front license plate because we'll give you a ticket if you don't, unless you pay us. Then you don't have to have one. It's just weird. Politics is a weird thing. I'm waiting to get pulled over because I think a lot of police officers don't even know that we have that law. So I probably will get pulled over for it eventually and have to explain that little sticker in the front window. I paid for that, so I don't have to, because I've talked to a couple police before I got it, and they hadn't heard of that law. So I'm surprised I haven't been pulled over already. Sorry, I'm still sniffling, guys. I can't quite totally get rid of this cold. I'm still got a little bit of hanging in there. I know when I watch myself back, I'm all sniffling every 2 seconds. I'm trying not to do it as much tonight. Octane Hemi. Doesn't make sense. It's like wiping your butt before you take a poop. Yeah. Go for checks, games. Yeah, they never hear. Well, that's way better for them. Yeah. Well, like I mean, they can't know everything. There's so many freaking laws. I don't know how they expect anybody to know every damn thing. But and then if I was like I said before, if I was 2 miles south of where I live, I'd be in Kansas, and you don't have to have a front plate there. I remember when we ordered the car, I think we told them like 15 times over the phone and everything else. Do not put a front license plate bracket on the car, and do not put any of those, dealer. I don't want any dealer stickers or dealer emblems or anything on the car. And they honored those wishes. I said, if you want to put a dealer license plate frame or something, that's fine. But do not put anything on that car that didn't come with. It didn't show up with. Yeah, I could. Well, actually, yeah, I could move to Kansas. There's a little town not too far from here. The Kansas state line is just down the street, but there's like nothing there but big fields, so there's nowhere to live. There is a couple towns down there though. Yeah, go to Kansas City, Kansas. Chris Endrashak was my salesman at Marshall Motors. I think I'm saying his last name. Chris Endrashak has a hard to pronounce and spell last name. Yeah, I mean, if they had put something on the car, I would have made him take it off. And if they had put holes in the bumper to put a license plate bracket on, I would have probably not taken the car. I don't know what I would have done. I wanted the car so bad. I don't know. I couldn't say that I wouldn't have taken it. I'd have been mad though. It would have ruined the experience somewhat. We waited so long and wanted the car so bad. I couldn't imagine not taking it over. I don't know. It would have been. That's why we kept making sure that they, please don't do anything to that car. Can you smoke pot and be a cop? I don't think so. Not even in Colorado. You can smoke it in Colorado, but there's plenty of jobs where they still drug test you. So yeah, high activity. We worked with Chris, and then the sales manager guy's name, who's escaping me at the moment, but I'm not sure if either one of them are still there. So haven't been back down there. I think we went down there once for a free oil change. But you can drink and be a cop. You can't smoke pot and be a cop. You can't smoke pot and get a concealed carry license. A lot of things you can't do. Like if you get a prescription for medical marijuana, you can't buy a gun anymore. There's a bunch of crazy laws. But you could go drink tequila all night and go, it doesn't make any sense. Not that I'm a big pot smoker or anything. Just SRT crazy. 100, try 115 in the shade. Yeah, you got the hard summers down there. So you head north in the summer. Yeah, probably good. I don't know if I could take that 115 stuff. I like, like I say, I like summertime, but I like summertime here, and I like summertime in Colorado is really nice because it's like 90 and dry. But yeah, it's pretty humid out here, so it's a little bit more uncomfortable. Yeah, I think it was Bruce. Yes, yes, hi, I can him. I'm pretty sure the guy's name is Bruce. Yep. Because we talked to Chris and kind of couldn't quite work out a deal, and then on our way home, they texted or called and said they could do the deal, which I kind of expected, and ended up on the phone with Bruce, I think, the next day because Chris is going to California for vacation, and so we did a lot of the stuff was with Bruce after that. So that's who actually officially ordered the car for us, I believe. Hi, Ken. You got a couple of buddies that work there. Cool. It's a pretty nice dealership. They treated us pretty well. We got frustrated a couple times, but you know, when you're waiting 8 weeks for your car, you want like updates and what's going on and where is it? And the Dodge website, there's a thing where you can go and you can put in your VIN number or another different number they gave you too, and it'll track your car along the process. But it wasn't working that whole time, so that was really frustrating. And Mean B likes the F8 green. I go back and forth on that. When it first came out, I loved it. And then I kind of went into this little phase where I wasn't too crazy about it. Now I'm getting back into loving it again. If I were going to order another car, I don't think it would be F8 green. Maybe. But it is a really cool color. Yeah, it's that retro. They had that same color back like in the early 70s. And, you know, it just brings you back to those times, kind of like the B5 blue. It brings you back to those old, it's one of those colors from the way back in the day. SRT Crazy says, if you like hot cars, this is the place. We went to the Barrett-Jackson in Scottsdale last weekend, and it was awesome. Oh, I bet. I've always wanted to do that. We were talking about that earlier. Someday, somehow, I got to get to the Barrett-Jackson in Scottsdale. Acton Hemi likes the indigo blue. I'm not super crazy about the indigo blue. I saw a guy's video today. He had the indigo blue Hellcat, and he had put some white stripes on it, and it looks pretty good, but I really like the B5 blue a lot. Mean B likes the F8 green with satin graphics. Yeah, it is a cool combination. It's one of those cars. I love the way it looks. I love the F8 green, but it's like, don't know if I'd want to actually live with it every day. I'd like my neighbor to have it so I can look at it. I really like the B5 blue, but Kim is not a fan of the B5 blue. So, and we were originally going to do Destroyer gray or black, and then like right before we ordered this car, that's when the Demon was first. There were some videos of a Demon, and it wasn't even out yet. But the Demon that they were showing was octane red in some of these promo things that we had seen, and it was kind of cool. We were checking it out, and I just was like, man, that's a really nice color. And I said, that must be that octane red, which I never really looked at on the website, because when you look at on the website, the little dot that shows you that color, it's kind of a pinkish, purpley, weird looking. It doesn't represent it at all. And so I never even checked it out really when I was doing like the build your own and all that stuff. And then after I saw the Demon in that color, I kind of like, man, that is nice. And she thought the same thing. And so that day we decided, basically sitting there at the desk there in Salina, Kansas at the dealership, that the last minute thing was, they were like, well, what color, if you're going to order one, what color? And we looked at each other, and octane red. So it was like that close to being Destroyer gray. Yeah, Mean B has a B5 blue Challenger, so Scat Pack. So he might be a little bit one-sided. It is a great color though. That's another one of those classic old school colors. It's just too cool, too perfect. It also looks really good with the black. So Crazy Nate found a blue Hellcat about 53,000 miles. Oh, $53,000 with 803 miles at Woodhouse Dodge. Wow, 803 miles. Damn. Mean B likes the octane red. It's amazing color in person. Yeah, it looks better in person. Just glow, but it's not really. I like it. I love it. I love the octane red. I really, really do. But it's definitely not an old school color. It's more of a newer looking color, but I still like it. Like I said, I think the Challengers just look good in any color. Not a huge fan of yellow. It still looks good in that, and it's one of those cars that pretty much looks good in every color. So Dominic likes the older lime green. Yeah, there's a couple different lime more greens. They Go green, and what was the other one? The Sublime green. High Octane Hemi has an octane red RT. Green with Envy is I think the best looking green color on any car ever. That is a great looking car. I wish they'd bring the green with envy back. Go look at that. If someone hasn't seen Green with Envy Challenger, look at it. It is just an amazingly weird candy, deep candyish green. It's really, really, really pretty. Really a great color. Brian says everything's legal if you have the money or if you don't get caught. Darkside Mopar. I really wish they brought back the black pearl clear coat. Yeah, I like men. So many great colors. Yeah, Woodhouse Dodge, Nebraska. That's where the Hellcat was. Cool. Trying to think what's the. There was one. There was a Dodge dealership in Lincoln that I drove 2 hours to go look at a orange Scat Pack that they said they still had when I called them that morning, and they said it was still on the lot. And I drove all that way, got there, and they said, "Oh, the guy just bought it and drove away." It had been there for 60 some days, supposedly, according to the website. And I just found it hard to believe that somebody bought it while I was driving there. I think they suckered me into showing up, and then they tried to. I was pretty pissed off. So I can't remember if that was Woodhouse or I can't remember the name of that dealership. Man. Dominic saw a Grand Cherokee, thought it was Octane Red, and the sticker on it said Velvet Red Pearl Coat. It looked like Octane Red. I think that's the same color. I think the Jeeps just call it Red Velvet or something like that, or Velvet Red. It's the same. It is the same color, just a different name. Yeah, the Jeeps. Some of the Jeeps have the same exact colors. They just call them something different. I think the Destroyer Gray is different too. They use the Destroyer Gray, but they call it something else. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Ford has a color that's just like Destroyer Gray. It's very, very close. And I forget what they call it. It had a cool name. I cannot remember it. And I want to say I saw a Raptor at a dealership that was that color. It was a Ford pickup of some sort. I want to say it was a Raptor, but I could be wrong. But it was a very, very similar to Destroyer Gray color. And it had a interesting name, and I can't remember now. I need to look that up. I keep thinking of that, and I can't remember. Yeah, the Octane Red looks way better in person than it does in pictures and video, especially better than it does on the website. Where you go build your car on the website, it doesn't look good on there at all. Well, I should probably head out of here, guys. I've got to work in the morning. I'd rather hang out here and talk. But I think I'm going to wrap this up. I really appreciate everybody for coming in. You guys rock. You guys rule. You're the best. Thanks for coming in and talking, and you guys kind of carry the conversation. It's awesome, all the questions and comments, and like hearing about all you guys' cars. And like I always say, feel free to promote your channel if you have one. That's always welcome on my channel, in my live chats, or on my videos in the comments or whatever. Feel free to promote your channel. I have no problem with that. So thanks, you guys. Take care, and have a wonderful night. Good tomorrow. And I will be making a couple videos this week, and probably do another live chat Wednesday, Thursday, maybe somewhere in there. I'll put up a little thing letting you guys know when that'll be. So take care, guys. Thanks a lot.